Hello, everybody. Welcome along to this week's Punters Guide. No Matt this week, I'm afraid. He's putting up his bunting ahead of the big day at Westminster Abbey. But I'm pleased to say that Frankie Foster and Joe Ross, our regulars, are here, as always, to preview the first classics of the season. Welcome along, guys. You looking forward to the weekend?
Can't wait. Yeah, it's now it is officially the flat season. I don't like it when the two cross over. It muddles my head. And when you've got Aintree and Punchestown going on whilst the flat kicks off, I always am more focused on the jumps. But that's all done now. Jump season is officially finished, and the Guineas weekend for me always marks the start of getting stuck into the flat. So yeah, it's a tricky card. The supporting card for the 1000 and 2000 isn't really packed with lots of group action. It's all muddling handicaps, but the 1000 and 2000 are always brilliant. So,
Joe, what about you? Feeling confident?
Very confident as always, and I always back the bets that I put up because one week they're all going to come in. I mean, if I fluke 6 winners one day, so I always have me 50p each way, lucky 63, just in case, because the week I don't do it, it's gonna come in, isn't it? And I think, as Frankie said, once you start seeing the jump jockeys on holiday in Dubai, you know the flat season's here. Dead looking forward to it this weekend.
Yeah, well, we do kick off with the first classics of the season. Nice warm-up, I'd like to say, before the Betfred Derby, the Betfred Oaks, the Betfred St. Ledger that we're very pleased to announce this week as well. How are you both feeling about this year's crop of 3-year-olds? I mean, it's really hard to know at this stage, isn't it? But is there a potential superstar, do you think, in there? Frankie, how about you first?
There's got to be a potential superstar in there, yeah. The issue is you could probably go through the first 6, 7, 8 in the betting and make a strong enough case for all of them. I think it's a really, really strong 2000 Guineas. You've obviously got all the comments that have come out of Aidan O'Brien's stable about August rode in. Little Big Bear, for me, was the most eye-catching performance of last year. The trip's the question. Chaldean's probably the talking horse around Newmarket and over here. Sakir, another one very visually impressive. You know, they all have their claims. If I have to have my own money on, want Chaldean to try and get Aidan's beat. I think he's the best on offer over here. So I'd have an each way bet because he's still an each way price, especially after Frankie coming off last time out. And I'd probably have a little smaller bet on Sakir. I just love the way that he travels through the race. He's got a bit of speed to finish. Again, I'll have to see the trip out. So for me, I'll probably have a small bet on Chaldean, Sakir, and I'm excited to see what Little Big Bear does. But I think he's more of a speedster. But if he does stay, very exciting.
Okay, Joel, how about you for the first classic of the year?
Yeah, I thought the favourite was a little bit short, and it's all the propaganda coming out from Aidan O'Brien every year. Better natural speed, you know, well done to lads in there. It might be the best one we've ever had. You know, all the usual. Thanks to Seamus, thanks to Anastasia, thanks to everybody, which is great. And go for the Triple Crown. It's very difficult to do. And was it Nijinsky last also did it? Was it
1970?
Yeah, I wasn't even born then, and that's no joke. I thought favourite was short, but could hack up. Little Big Bear, there was all the noise about which one would Ryan choose. I think he was always going to choose the Fav. Little Big Bear, as Frankie said, if it will stay, Wayne Lorden's on there, which is not a negative. But last night, after watching Brighton and Man United in the Boarfest, I started watching the run from one of the horses that was in the Breeders' Cup. It was beating a nose, Silver Knot. I remember watching that with mates at the time. It was in the juvenile turf, and he got really badly boxed in. I remember sitting down with mates going, if that was a local jockey on there, if you had like, you know, Ira Ortiz on there or Joe Rosario or something, that wouldn't have happened. And he was beaten by Victoria Road of Aidan O'Brien's. Ryan Moore just got first run. So I think that's a decent each way bet, and 2 against the favourite. Little Big Bear, I think, is your bet to nothing. That's your account closer each way. And I really, really like that run of Silver Knot. And if it had won, it had been half the price. And I think you're getting 11 or 12 to 1. So that's mine.
Okay, a couple of selections against the favourite then in the first classic of the year. Of course, a day later, it's the second. It's the 1000 Guineas for the fillies at Newmarket. And again, Aidan O'Brien has a great record in this. He's won 5 of the last 7, but he doesn't have the favourite this year, Frankie. That's Dermot Weld's Tahira, who beat one of Aidan's, Meditate, at the Curragh last year. How do you see this race going?
Keep this one straightforward. I think she's the right favourite. At the time of recording on Friday morning, I think she's very nicely priced at 5 to 2. Don't know what you get on the day, and maybe some people are seeing the good to firm ground as a negative, but the way that Gemma Welch spoke about this horse, the way that she went past Aiden's Meditate at the Curragh, I think that's a potential superstar in here. I'm not trying to look anywhere else. I'm not trying to find value. I think the favourite wins.
Okay, Joel, how about you?
Absolutely agree. If there's a superstar this weekend, it's her, in my opinion. Those 2 runs, Galway and at the Curragh, when she, beat Meditate so easily. Meditate was green. There was excuses. I can't see past the Hera. And if you're getting 5-2, it's a wheelbarrow job for me.
Okay, 2 very strong selections then into here, the favourite for the 1,000. Let's go back to Saturday then, and the first ITV race this weekend, which is the listed Ellen Challoner Stakes for the fillies and mares at 2:15 at Newmarket over 6 furlongs. It's one of those wide open races, as we mentioned, but Michael Dodds, at the time of recording, has the top 2 in the market, and it is the 7-year-old Gale Force Mayer who is the early favourite, Frankie, a 2-time course and distance winner, but you could have a few in this one.
Yeah, that's going to be the theme, I think. I'll mention as many horses as I can as quickly as I can, because they're all really competitive races. I really like George Bowie's Padika, but the ground does not suit. She went well on very soft ground, and getting good to firm has had to put me off. But I've just got to mention her because I think she's probably the better horse in the race. But good to firm, it's not the one. You mentioned the top 2. For Michael Dodds, who gets his horses right this time of year. I think Azure Blue is pretty straightforward. Won over C&D last time out. Was never really set to be a star last year, but did progress nicely. Has won on good ground as well. Just looks quite a solid bet at the top of the market. So it's fairly boring, but I think Azure Blue would take my bet. And if I had to chuck one other in, Queen Ollie has been disappointing throughout her career, but could be better. First time tongue tie might help.
Okay, Joel, who did you side with?
Yeah, Azure Blue as well for Michael Dodds and Paul Mulrennan. Finished last season with 2 wins at Newmarket. This is the one. There's an angle in here that tends to miss the break, she does, and then stays on strongly. So if she's going to be 5-1, 11-2 on the day, something like that, hover over your keyboard. I'll be standing at the desk, miss the break, go out to 10-1. There you go. You've doubled your odds. I was pretty strong on it, Azure Blue. Straightforward. Last 2 wins, end of season. Newmarket, fantastic.
Okay, let's stick with Newmarket then, and the 250, which is a big sprint handicap over 6 furlongs. And well, I think you could have maybe 4 or 5 in this one, of how competitive it looks at this stage. But Tanmawi is the early favourite for Charles Hills. He was just headed at Newbury on reappearance over this trip, and he goes off the same mark here, so will be popular. Frankie, who did you like?
One down in the betting, who seems to be shortening. Admiral D. Goes well on good ground. Joel, are we just going to go through the card together? Yes. Be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, races well on better ground. Does always race slightly towards the rear, but and will always finish his race, in the last part of the race. But last time out in particular, I thought was finishing really, really nicely. Jamie Spencer booked as no better man to have a horse to ride it quietly for most of the race and then get going and finish well. So, yeah, Admiral D, I like the look of that 5th last time out on seasonal reappearance. I think there's more to come.
Joel, anything you can add to that?
First time cheap pieces, you'll know what you're getting with Jamie Spencer. It's the horse made for him. He does ride Newmarket really well. If the horse wins, it's the horse and the training performance. If the horse loses and he's finishing on the bridle and never no second, it's all Frank Spencer's fault. I was big on Admiral D. And the other one, Black Rod, who won the race last year for Roger Teal, has got the effort of booking a She Murphy £2 higher than when winning this last year. And both of my selections are high draws, so you'll probably know from about halfway how you're getting on there. 21 for Black Rod and 23 for Admiral D. But yeah, come on, Spencer. That's quite solid for me at the weekend.
Okay, let's move south then to Goodwood, and our only race there on ITV this weekend. It's a 3:05, another competitive handicap. You'll be surprised to learn, this time over 1.2 miles on the downs. And Charles Hills again has got another big chance in this. He's got the recent course winner here, Maglark. The Gostons have got the recently gelded Honiton returning after a big break as well. I mean, you could go down the list, Frankie, and pick out a few. It's a smaller field, but still very competitive.
Yeah, this was almost by process of elimination, and now my case has only been strengthened by the market support for Maglark, the favourite. I was trying to go through and find one that I thought might be well handicapped, might be a bit better than the rest of the field, or running better races. I think it's a fairly weak race, and the favourite has only raced 3 times. It's the most unexposed in the field, won over course and distance last time out. I was having a look this morning, and I thought if this starts to take any money, then I'm probably going to have a little bet. So market support has come. It's boring and it's the favourite, but I just think it's a weak handicap. And if this horse is better, well, he will be better than what he's shown over the first 3 starts, then he might have a chance off a mark of 86.
Okay, Maglock then for Frankie. Joe, what did you like here?
Yeah, it's like a midweek. It's not a race that I'd probably ever betted on a Saturday. There's much better races. I did get it down to Aussie Banker for Richard Hughes, who can't buy a winner. Spencer and Will Buick have tried to win on this horse. Bumped into one, Johnny Murters, which was a big gamble with a brilliant Billy Loughnane on board. Beating a neck at Kempton. Length at Lingfield. David Probert takes over, and every year I see David Probert coming back for the new season, and he gets better and better. I don't think he gets the praise that he should get. He was brilliant again last night. So I just thought maybe 6 or 7 to 1. Richard Hughes turned it round at Aussie Banker, but it's not a strong one for me. It's a bit of a play for a free bet, I reckon.
Not a banker for Joel, but Aussie Banker, the selection then in that one. Right, let's move on to Newmarket once again. Another big handicap, 100 grand worth this one, and it's the Suffolk Stakes over a mile and 1. King of Conquest will no doubt be popular, I'm sure, given his name in this one. But it is Jimi Hendrix who is the early favourite for Rafe Beckett after his Spring Cup win at Newbury a couple of weeks ago in the first time blinkers, and he's gone up £5 for that. Tricky one, 17 in as things stand. Frankie, where did you go with?
Yeah, I've backed Empire State of Mind the last twice. He's been frustrating to follow, not even the last 2 times, but the last 5 or 6, he can't manage to get his head in front. But if you wanted to go in again at an each way bet, then he probably will be in the mixer. I'm going to side with Cadillac, top weight, and Ryan Moore on board. George Bowe got this horse last year, ran well enough in a Group 3, I think, and maybe a listed race. Has pretty much raced most of his career in group company. I wonder if George Bowe's had him for the winter. He's thought this might not be a group level horse, but he could go and win a handicap like this, despite carrying top weight. And Ryan Moore's obviously a very strong booking, and George Bowe, a trainer that does well or did well at this meeting last year. So, yeah, I'm siding with top weight Cadillac.
Yeah, Ryan Moore in incredible form going into the Friday as I record this. Anyhow, I'm sure he'll have a great weekend once again. And Joel, what did you like?
It's nap time in this race.
Oh.
I love a good plot. Saga. And the Queen Concert. Frankie Dettori could have gone to Kentucky Derby on his farewell tour. Dettori wants to be a sir. The blinkers are off. Cheek pieces are on first time. Was pulled out of a big race for this, and 2 veg are off. So here we have it. Saturday, owned by the King, ridden by Frankie. The meat and 2 veg off, blinkers off, cheek pieces on first time. Sir Frankie Dettori next year. It's around 10 to 1 this morning.
I like that you come prepared with the scissors as well. That was a nice touch.
He's always got a prop. That's quite a visual prop.
See, I am new to this show, but yeah, I do appreciate that. Is there anything you've got, Frankie, coming up?
No, you won't see much. It's barren in here. That's all we talk about more than props.
Okay, maybe in the next 5 to 10 minutes before your nap, you can come up with something quickly. Right, let's move on, shall we? Because we got one more race elsewhere. That is at Thirsk, the 340. We're going there for their version of the Hunt Cup. It's a very competitive race once again, a handicap over a mile. David O'Mara's Pisanello is the early favourite here. He was 3rd in this race 12 months ago, but he's £6 lower now, so he has been popular, and he did win on his reappearance last year as well. So no surprise there. But Frankie, who did you fancy?
Going for a bit of a price here. Eileen Dubb was 9th and 13th on first start this year in March, which was no good, and then 17th of 22 in the Lincoln. Again, no good, but heavy ground definitely wouldn't have suited. Go back to the end of the last season and you discount or you ignore the 6 furlong run, which isn't the right trip. 3 handicaps ran over a mile at Hamilton, York, and York won all 3 off a rising marks of 79 up to 90 in the end. Will come here off a 94, but with a £3 claim on. So I think it overpriced is the word. I'd be thrilled if Eileen Dubb went and won, but I just think you're getting a bit of value if running to the form of those handicaps last year off a similar mark with a claimer on board.
Okay, I like the workings out. Joe, what about you?
Living the dream for Adam West. 2 from 2 this season. Love the run at Ponty. Sean Curran takes the ride here. He can't claim because it's a group race. A little bit more rain would be nice. We'll try and make all.
Where are you, John? You're not at Thirsk.
What was it, Thirsk?
Yes.
Yeah, you've jumped the gun. You're at Newmarket.
I was just doing the same, looking down the list, and thought this is a big price, and it really will be a big price because it's not entered.
No, yeah, it's been pulled out. Do you know what? I'll be honest with you. I didn't do the Thirsk race. I thought, hang on a sec, we've got 7 ITV races here. I've only got 6. I'm on to the Palace House Stakes, my Group 3 here. Yeah, exactly what Frankie said. I was looking for a bit of value, and I included exactly what he said on there. I haven't done the Thirsk race. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Hang
I
on.
mean,
Here we are.
I'll pick one for you if you want.
Go on. You might as well do some work.
Well, I gave a good case to the favourite earlier, Pisanello. So let's go with that for Joel. We'll put that up as a bet for Joel in that 340. Right. So you're happy with the 4 o'clock?
I'm massively at the 4 o'clock. The
Okay.
Palace House Stakes. You'll be shocked who I'm going with here. Living the dream for Adam West. Couple of great wins. Sean Curran on board. He can't claim being a group race. A bit more rain would help. It might rain at Thirsk, but it definitely won't down here. He'll try and make all. Underrated trainer. I think he's a bit nuts. And I just thought living the dream. Try and make all. Go for it. And that'll send us home happy. And to be fair, at this point, I'm at a family coronation party. So I'll be watching it with one eye through my glasses. So anything could happen.
Joel definitely peaked with the scissors. It's all been downhill since then. But yeah, this is the 4 o'clock at Newmarket for the ITV's final race, the Group 3 Palace House Stakes over 5 furlongs. Just a word to the favourite, which is the course and distance winner, Twilight Calls for Henry Candy. We've not seen him finishing second at Royal Ascot to Nature Strip in the Group 1 King's Stand Stakes. So it's great to see him back out in action. We know that Living the Dream is the pick for Joel. What about Frankie?
Yeah, Living the Dream. Half brother to Live in the Moment, and I stood with the owner of the pair of them up at Musselburgh on Saturday. And the first thing he said was they're going to have a crack at this, and he was quite excited for it. And I might be wrong because I'm pitching 2 conversations together, so I could be very, very wrong. But he was talking to somebody else about trying to book Ryan Moore, and whether he was on about this horse, who knows? But I think they're coming here with they're coming here with a lively chance anyway. Living the dream. Mad owner with great, well, not mad owner, great owner with mad shoes. If he wears them at Newmarket, you'll see. I am going to go with Ryan Moore though on the favourite you mentioned. Went off favourite for this race last year, finished 5th, but it was a real close 5th, and then went on to come 2nd in the Group 2, and then 2nd, as you mentioned, at Royal Ascot behind Nature Strip. Just really progressive last year, and if running to that form, should go and win this. I think it's quite a strong bet for me. Twilight Calls. We'll just have to be ready after a long break, but has done it before.
Okay, Twilight Calls and the pick in the 4 o'clock at Newmarket. That rounds up all the races on ITV then on Saturday. But before we say goodbye, it is nap and next best time. So Joel, I'll start with you this time. I know you've already hinted at it, but let's get your confirmation.
Yeah, Suffolk States at 3:25, I think it is. Saga, Charlie, he's having it right off. Saga around 10, 11 to 1, something like that. And I think the next best, it could be a joint nap, to be fair. Tahira, I think it'll be the superstar of the weekend, 1,000 guineas.
Okay. Frankie, what about you?
Yeah, to go the other way around, Tahira would be the nap, and Twilight Calls, who I've just mentioned in the Palace House Stakes, will be the next best.
Okay, top stuff. Well, I mentioned at the top of the show that Matt's doing his bunting. He's not. He is off to Newmarket for the 2 days for the Guineas. So looking forward to getting his previews on course as well. And he'll be back in the hot seat next week. There's a lot to enjoy. I presume you're going to be watching a racing and not the coronation, boys.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, he's got another prop. I'll be on the sofa with the race today, and then I'm up there. I'll be with Matt tomorrow morning. So
very good.
Yeah, we'll run through Saturday's card tomorrow morning.
I'm just worried how much we need to film that. Oh, he's here. He's back. There you go.
I saw it when I came in this morning. It was in the studio. I had no idea why.
You'll have that on when Saga wins, won't you, Joe?
Hey, I'll bet, if this wins tomorrow, I'm not back next week, I tell you.
I think we should end it there, shouldn't we? Just in case he pulls out anything else. Thank you very much, Joel, and to Frankie for your views, your selections once again. That's it for the Punters Guide. Enjoy the racing, enjoy the coronation. Good luck with your bets. And as always, please gamble responsibly. We'll see you next time.